Greetings and salutations, mother truckers. You're having a good Friday. Get rid of this stupid hat. Stupid hat on a lady. On a hork lady. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's take a look at some stuff here. First of all, we're on our Ranger Wiz Artie. That's right. It's a masterpiece. It's a thing of beauty. Who else is streaming? King Thronce, Rain, and Rose Loveless. Awesome. It's always nice to see more DDO streamers. Rising tide lifts all ships, right? Alright, so anyway, back to looking at this and spending these action points over here. Doesn't look too bad, all things considered. Forget how many points we need to get in this tree. Looks like we're good. We just have to get to level 12. So we're slowly but surely working our way up here. We're working on our Eldritch Knight stuff for a couple of reasons. One, that'll free up our wizard slots if we want them, which I think we do. And this will increase our MMR PRR. We want to do that now. Maybe it's close. We can grab another point of strength over here in the strength tree, aka the orc tree. I don't think we care to. Oh, I would not mind improved power attack. I think it's close. It's close. I feel like we just any one particular single hit is not hitting as hard as I want it to. Crits are looking good. But single individual hits are not there. What else do we have as maybes? I don't think I'm not worried about magical resistance rating. Hit points are good. More hit points, more better. We like that. Healing amp is good. It's not unreasonable. I don't think we're gonna make any more Artie levels in here, although kinetic discharge doesn't seem bad. We're not gonna be mighty slamming because we're not gonna have a rune arm in our hand. We're not building for converter, stuff like that. Harper Agent for hit points would be fine, not necessary. Working our way up for sprint boost over here would be good. Some healing amp, some more crits. Oh, no, I guess it's just, yeah, hit and crit. Some PRR. There's definitely some stuff we can do. Some low-hanging fruit. But I think we're just going to start over here. Screw it. Screw it. So, in case you missed it, we're back on Sarlona, my home server, on Samius, my main. Currently in a gender bend life, doing some gender bend things. Cordia. Let's see anybody else on. But honestly, I didn't look. It's, repair. Oh yeah, I remember now. We knocked out a. I can't think of the name of that quest before we logged off last time. Woohoo! I'm thinking it'll come to me. It'll come to me. White Plume Mountain. Yeah, I got there. Like a genius. Like a genius. Do I even care about these? No, I'll just carry them around, drink them. Yeah. Anyway, level 11, right? Did we take 11? We did take 11. Heck yeah. Alright, so the first thing we want to do at level 11 is Ring of the Stalker. We want to ring over the Stalker. We want our green steel boots. Because our freedom boots, while nice or not, important enough we have to wear all the time. It's not part of a set. Just doesn't matter that much. I wonder when I took level 11 why I didn't remember to do this when I took level 11. Hard telling. I was so asleep. It's been a rough week for the Samius, by the way. Real rough week. Talking 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep on the weekdays so we get enough sleep. Then we usually grab a nap, but we're not getting a lot of sleep in the between streams. I can't find my green steel boots. Does anybody see my green steel boots? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell me, like, Sam, if you're scrolling past them, they're by the XYZ. Because I did not see them. Chirp. I just listened to the massive amounts of chirps coming from our little rose bush that I almost got killed. There they are. Sweet babies. That I almost got killed this summer. But then I left one little sprig. Now it's starting to go apex again. Anything else that we need to worry about? Our True Seeing Wisdom are still good. This is part of the set we are actually wearing. Mantle of Fury is still good. We could slide into our Green Steel Bracers. We're not having mana problems. So I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, this is probably fine. Which means we also get to change our first level wizard spell. Hey, good morning, Wood. How you doing? How you doing this morning? One of these spells are not castable right now, right? No, looks like all these are castable this morning. Alright. I guess we'll put this over here and we'll put this down here. Make sure that's always on. That's always on. Okay, except for your hand. I am mostly just exhausted. Like I said, I probably got 2.5 hours of sleep last night. Feels good. No, that's not right. I probably got 3 hours of sleep. Yeah, I probably got like 3 hours. So I'm already planning my nap. Already planning it. It's gonna be glorious. Where's your Samius emote? So Critical Role was trending yesterday. We were wondering why, or I was anyway. Like, why is this trending? What does it do? Why are people singing about wildebeest? Let's look at our... Let's see, we have a whole bunch of level 9s, right? Level 9s are where we can get started now. There's actually a ton of XP at 9. There's still some 8s we could do if we wanted to. Some Threntals. We felt like it. Honestly, I feel like we should just work on... We should also just go start with last night was the wedding of Camp 1 characters. Is that what they're like? Is that what they're calling, oh, do we need a healer for this? Probably wouldn't hurt. We have a healer. Oh, never mind. Roshan. Like their seasons or whatever. I'm not in the mood to like campaign 1, yeah. Trogdor. Let's see. Let's wizard this up with some acid. No, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Alright, cool. Be for days. $74 or 5? 74 or 5?
The Blackheart trolls have made their home
I don't follow.
ruined world. They seem eager to kill invaders. Possibly the allies of Vale.
Oh, episodes. Yeah. As a guy who sits around and streams Dungeons and Dragons, I have a hard time watching other people play Dungeons and Dragons. I love hearing about Dungeons and Dragons stories. Like, I love to hear other people's campaign stories, but I, for whatever reason, like watching it play out live is not something I personally love. Which, again, it's weird, and I should probably do a better job of trying to watch other people's streams of that stuff. But I'm glad that they're there doing their thing. Raising popularity of Dungeons & Dragons, again, is great. Oh, this weird, we're still not dead. Bad. This is very entertaining for people to watch noobs play. Well, like I said, I love to listen to the story about it. You can retell me the story about your Dungeons & Dragons adventure. I will listen to every word. But watching, I don't know, I think it has something to do with the pacing of the action for me. Maybe. I think you're automatically condensing it down. But they're, like, Critical Role is more putting on a show, right? So it's less about the D&D. I mean, although I do believe the D&D is a big part of it. But it's more about the overall show, which is pretty cool. I don't know, I keep trying to watch Relics and Reliquary, like bits and pieces of it here and there, because I like a lot of what they're doing. But then I just end up watching the, like, interviews, and I end up really enjoying those. For example, Liam O'Brien plays a wizard. He role plays the learning of spells, as in when we have downtime, he goes to a room and writes. That's cool. That is a cool.
A majestic
So I think if I would have got onto that,
the cavern ahead.
if I would have gotten into that space earlier, maybe it would be a different story.
Sole purpose is to
But now I feel
destroy
like
those who cheat death.
it's difficult for me to move on something like that now. Maybe not. Maybe it'll be fine. Part of the reason I'm really looking forward to the animated adventures, I think like that animated adventures will be right up my alley. Like, I really enjoy Puffin Forest. I really enjoy a lot of those other kind of doodads like that.
A group of drow ambushers in the next room howls a battle cry. The ill stride must be determined to fight you and the inevitable at once.
So there's usually like around 60,000 people watching Critical Role when I go to look at it or I see it's trending or whatever, which I think is a really awesome thing.
The stench of trolls once again reaches your nostrils. It is true. Trolls and drow are working together.
So I'm not sure when that's supposed to come out, but it should be soon, right? The animated May of 2020. That's pretty soon. I mean, it still feels very far away, but that's still pretty soon. Although I bet if I look, there's probably somebody who's recondensing them out there for me and I can get caught up. Wow. Glad I... Yeah, we gotta move on this. I'm actually really close to being in trouble here. Oh no, maybe we're fine. Gotta get the cleric out of the danger zone. Something a little longer than 5 minutes and something a little shorter than an hour. Again, Puffin Forest I think is ideal. If Puffin Forest was summarizing, I would watch it. There's probably other people that do a good job. Maybe Danny here would be a good job as well. Anyway, I hope it has been a ton of fun. said, I feel like I've missed the bandwagon on that show. It's part of the reason I want to try to get into Relic and Reliquaries before it's too late. Awesome. 3 negative levels. That's good. And a Soul of Cruelty Archer. Alright, so we need to drink this potion. And we need our person to fix our negative levels. 1 levels. 2 levels. 3 levels. Ooh ha ha ha. Alright, this is done. Just checking and making sure that we're still doing our here.
You stand amidst a scene of terrible slaughter. The inevitable has already passed this way.
Hey, Fame Reaper. Just killed your uncle. He says, NPC out of the AoE. It's healing us. We should be fine. Oh, that's not the button I meant to push. Oh, I thought I had some spell components for this. Oh. Okay, it's fine. Wow, look at these guys. I think their poo don't stink, don't they? So I'm not good at hitting boosts. It's just never been something I've been particularly skilled at keeping an eye on. I'm gonna try to do better. I like doing special attacks, but I'm not. Whoa! We died. I don't think we're gonna be able to beat this. Yeah, that's a lot of crap right there. Carnage Reaper plus Plague Reaper. Yeah, that's okay. Wow, that's a lot of crap. stand like 2 steps more this way. Carnage Reaper down. Come on. Get the Plague Reaper down, we can finish this fight. Alright. Excuse me. No poop down here. Alright, let's shimmy on up this ladder. Just do some shimmy. Oh man, my right foot is numb. Hopefully it'll wake up pretty quick. Hello? We're just gonna shrine. Probably have this guy's shrine now as well. Our first real cup of tea, or glass of tea, drink of tea. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Whoo, tingles all the way down.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
My little green light wasn't on. I couldn't hear anything you said after AFK because my phone rang and stuff.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, I know. I was just explaining to you. I wasn't ignoring you.
No, I saw AFK and I just rambled on like I always do. That is my jabs. Talk to myself, so if random people pop in, they don't have like 5 minutes of silence before Twitch tells me that they're there. It's all good.
Yeah, I've gone to different streams and there's just like nothing going on. There's 2 people and I think one of them is just there because, well, you know, I don't know. They're waiting for something to happen, or they're doing dishes or whatever. But nobody's talking. Nobody's saying anything. There's no chat. There's nothing.
You have to stay. You have to stay talking. You gotta keep making the noise. People, they want to join a stream and know that there's something going on.
Yeah. Oh, damn. My headphone is tripping out again.
Hopefully that's
Yeah,
not
there's-
gonna... Man, we
gotta be your
suck
dog.
at mini shot. Yeah, she's barking. Little Quinn.
Is it a happy bark, or is it a
Who
love me
knows?
bark, or?
All of her barks are, who knows, barks. The dog is cray. I love her, but she's cray. Alright, let's go try. Oh, I guess we can get our 100 hit points back. She heals me. Hudo, she crazy. She probably heard a noise somewhere and she's like, oh, there's a noise. Did you know there's a noise? I heard the noise. Did you hear the noise? I heard the noise. Did you? Did you see the noise with the ears? Did you see it? I'm pretty sure that's mine.
Software turn itself off.
Pretty sure that's
Oh,
exactly
there it
what
is
she
again.
sounds like. I guess we just might as well take all these negative levels, huh? No. Should definitely get them removed so when we take our next batch of negative levels we still have some mana. Man, the neg leveler is strong today.
It's beeping at me, and I've got 74% on my headset, so I'm not understanding this.
Yeah.
Just as a warning, I may go dark quickly.
Okay.
So.
Sounds. I'm here. Oh,
Are you on Sarlona or hardcore?
Yeah, I'm on Sarlona today.
I
I'm
thought
too.
you would be.
One, I'm too tired to play on the hardcore and not just be completely exposed to being murdered every 5 seconds.
I can understand that.
And two, I kind of already committed to playing on Sarlona today. I didn't commit to exactly what I was going to do, but this has been fine so far. I gotta get through this ranger life. There are moments when it's really fun, and then there's moments when it's terrible. Just the least fun thing I've ever done. Alright, well, it's not that bad.
It's not as bad as dying every 5 minutes.
Well, that part is not the same. Like, the most unfun I've ever had, it was the PK life.
What's PK?
Purple Dragon Knight.
Oh.
PDK. Yeah, PDK.
Okay.
That was probably my least fun life.
What was least fun about it?
I don't know. Just the whole build didn't feel right. I can't remember that much about it other than I did not have fun. There it is.
I usually don't understand. I don't have fun when I don't understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hitting a spell or a melee attack, and it doesn't do what I think it should be doing, and I can't figure out why it's not doing that. Then I'm not having too much fun.
Yeah, I wish I could. I don't know. All I know is Tobrel and Talab are trying to talk me into doing some 1 to 20 or some epic iconic lives. There we go, iconic lives.
To level 30?
Yeah. Because it makes a lot of sense for Talab to be interested in that, because he gets to double dip in a racial, you know, he gets to do iconic and a heroic past life. But for me, they're just regular heroic lives. So the idea, the advantage is that I get to hang out with Tobrel, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's gonna be like in this zone where
I
he's
think
gonna
they
do
want.
it.
I think they want to do the higher level stuff, not the stuff that you do every week. You go from 2021 to
Right.
0.
Exactly.
And that's part of what is hard for a lot of people on hardcore. Oh God, do I have to do Korthos one more time? I feel that way, but I know Korthos really well, and I'm pretty sure I can get through it. I only have trouble with that one quest where I get frozen, and I don't hit the trap right, so that's on me. But I could do that. That's not a big deal for me. I know that stuff, and I think that's what they miss. I have a friend like that. Um, uh, we got to like level 8, and she said, "I want to do level 8 content." Oh, okay, find level 8 content. And then when we started doing that, we failed miserably most of the time. And she still wanted to do it, and I wanted to be successful for a little while. We just weren't on the same page.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I feel like it makes a lot of sense for some people to do. I just don't know if I'm there. So it's for me. It's a matter of like taking the time and hanging out with people who want to do things, and I just hate being trapped. I just hate it.
Ahead, 3 champions of Vale's forces have arrayed themselves for a last
Hey,
action.
I have an issue with Lotro that way. That my tunes are stuck at 115, and everybody is at 120, and they're about to go to 130 as soon as they drop the next. I don't know whether it's expansion or update. But I'm thinking like I don't want to. I don't know this stuff. I don't know where to go. I don't like having to search for things.
Sure.
Sometimes I find I like to explore more on DDO, but you know, and the stuff that I want to do is like low level because I pretty much know where it is, how to get there, and what to do when I get there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, all those things are understandable.
Just a different play style.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'll probably finish my 2 PDK lives. I'll try to find something more interesting for me to do than what again, I don't necessarily remember what I did last time, but I feel like I have a better handle on a lot of the different classes now than I did before.
Yeah, I get that.
And if Tobrell is going to be doing... See, the thing is, I'm not sure if he's doing Iconics or if he's doing Epic TRs. I don't know.
This great
What's the difference?
force is flanked
I know what an iconic is, but what is an
shows a
epic?
dramatic
So in Epic TR, you just go back to... You go from 30 back to 20, but you clear out your Epic... So your Epic Destinies are divided into spheres, right? So you have like an arcane sphere, or inside that arcane sphere there's multiple different destinies. So you empty out the XP in one of these spheres, and then you refill up the bucket, as it were, with XP.
Oh, I think I saw somebody doing that. I was wondering why they were saying that they were TRing and they were going to. It looked like they were building up iconic lives. You know, when you create an iconic character, you got 15 levels that you have to go. Well, you don't have to go through, but you go through to get up to level 15,
Right.
and that's what it looked like. So that must be
But
what
they
he was
went
doing.
all the way to 20. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that's the thing. So like over
That
here,
makes a lot more sense to me.
if you look at the screen in a second, I assume you're able to watch, you'll see how each of these different things have a maximum of 6 million XP in them. And those
Ouch. Jeez.
and those coordinate with your past life feats. Which fairly certain, yeah. So like this arcane alacrity comes from, I think, the arcane destiny, and you can empty that 3 times per feat, and I think there's like 3 feats per destiny. As you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I only did the ones that I do pretty much every time, and then every once in a while I'll empty one when I know that it's low, or I'll notice that it's full. So like I have this fast healing, right? But if I turn on fast healing, it'll turn off my Colors of the Queen, because Colors of the Queen and fast healing both come from the same destiny. So like if I wanted to go AFK for a little bit and heal up, I could put this on my bar, and every minute I would get 5 hit points plus 5 for every 5 character levels.
Can you
It's
do
like-
that in a dungeon?
Yeah, I can switch them in a dungeon. But healing 5 hit points, or even 20 hit points every minute is just not going to heal somebody up very fast. So I usually just use these for Arcane Alacrity. Gives me 10 more to my cooldowns. 10% reduction to my cooldown timer.
Cool.
So like if I cast Shield or whatever, it's going to be less cooldown time before I can cast it again.
But that doesn't shorten the duration, right?
No, just the duration of the casting, to be able to cast it a second time. Colors of the Queen has that weird proc where it just like randomly does awesome things. Power over life and death comes from the Divine Karma tree, and that gives me 30 positive and 30 negative spell power. And then skill mastery comes from the Martial tree, and that gives me plus 3 to all of my skills. Like they do other stuff too, but that's the main reason why I take those ones. But they just did a pass, and now some of them have better things in them. I understand.
My substitute caregiver is going to be late today, somewhere around about 20 more minutes. So that's why I put on the headphones, because my hand was hurting. Oh wow, wah, wah.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. So I have a friend of mine who they battle a depression, right? I get that. It's a thing that you're fighting uphill against and you don't know how to deal with it. But they posted a message today about trying to deal with their pain, and they're like, I just don't. I'm like, I've changed my entire world, done every possible thing I can to work on my pain, and I still get up every day. I do the stream. Sometimes it's pretty crabby Samus, and sometimes it's funny Samus. But I do it every single day. I do everything in my power to minimize my pain. I changed my diet. I've changed. I go to doctors. I do all this stuff to try to minimize my pain. And at the end of the day, it's always a 3. Like the lowest I can get it is a 3. Pretty much ever. Which a 3 is pretty good. I'll take a 3 most days. But it's like you have to fight for it. You have to battle it. You have to make it happen. And they're just like, I ignore it. Like, I don't want to hear about your pain if you're going to ignore it. Once you know that you're fighting it, you're battling against it. You're trying to make it better.
Depression doesn't work that way.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that do go into depression that you can work on and you can battle it. And there are lots of people out there who describe their depression and that they do battle through. But diet, exercise, those are definitely things that help with your depression.
The sweltering heat
It's amazing how much stuff diet and exercise would accomplish.
An earth elemental rises from the ground.
But the big thing, of course, is a lack of meaning. Most people, at least in America, get their meaning from their work, and a lot of people don't value their work anymore because they feel like they're not doing anything meaningful. And they have no meaning outside of work because they don't have kids or whatever.
Or video games.
The lever locks into
Right.
place and the gate opens. You hear the sound. A warforged worker beckons
But
to you
I mean,
from
these are
inside
all
the
things that you could work on and fight.
Viscous fluid oozes from a wound in RC2's
I don't know.
side,
Again, maybe I'm
almost as
just
if
an ass,
something
but
burrowed its way in.
I feel like people could go pull that lever again, Dorcas.
RC2 stops abruptly and rocks
Yeah,
back
he
and
doesn't want
forth in a
to.
daze. It's quite obvious something is wrong. You spy a slimy
You
leech-like
did-
creature crawl out
Go
from
do what I
under
said.
RC2's body and worm its way down.
Very
to the
well.
floor.
Man, I want this open in case somebody else has to come in. I don't foresee it, but just in case.
You hear someone clearing his throat.
I don't know, I think about that kind of stuff when I get like the big flare-ups and whatnot. Well, what are you doing to make it better? A lot of people, I think, are in my life right now are dealing with their struggles. And I just want to shake them and be like, well, what are you doing? How are you trying to make it better? Talk to my wife about it all the time. Ooh, that's a big hit. Rolled a 2. 2 plus 30. Trap fail. There's another one. 1. I'm gonna die to traps just running up this stupid pipe.
Just a little difficult without a trapper.
I'm a trapper. I was getting the traps, but you have to run through the traps to get to the traps.
You have to have some kind of trapping ability, right?
Yeah.
You can't just, oh, I've got a really good spot and search, so I'm gonna pull up all the traps, and
Correct.
it don't work that way.
Correct. You
So
have to have.
some trapper.
There are 2 classes in DDO that give you trap.
Rogue
Trapping.
and Artificer.
Correct. Currently. In 5th edition, I think you can get trapping skills via a feat. It's like you can manually take the feat, I believe. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's.
I don't remember that from my.
Maybe it's
player's
Pathfinder
handbook.
that lets you do it.
Maybe I don't know anything about Pathfinder.
Yeah, I played so many different things in the recent couple of months that it's hard to keep it all straight. All I know is that a bunch of my characters, a bunch of my characters now are trappers. I just like assume that I can do traps now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it must be Pathfinder 2, because my bard can do traps over there now. Should I?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about no class. You just are able to do things, and they have to be related so that you can do some things better than others from your personal skill set, but not a class. I'm a wizard. Okay, does that make you not able to? No, I can put it on, but I can't cast spells because I can't reach my hand over my head. Well, I can if it's just
North wing gate lever
verbal.
locks into place.
I can spew spell at you.
Surge shorts out the storage areas and
But I
the
can't
back.
get any materials out of my pockets because I don't have any pockets. I'm in plate mail.
Oh, I put pockets in my plate mail.
Yeah. And how easy is it to get anything out of your plate mail?
Easy, because they're all on magnets.
Uh-huh.
So I think ahead.
There are only a few places you can reach.
Yeah,
in
all
your
my
plate mail.
all my chests. Right there, I have a whole series of compartments right there.
No.
Reach up there, pull
That
off.
makes you a robot. That makes you a robot.
No. I still have human heart. I still have human lungs and human breathing. Nah, just smart. Use magnets. And
Yeah, because that's why a Warforged can breathe under. It doesn't need to breathe underwater because they have lungs.
yeah, they have robot lungs. They don't breathe.
You just said they didn't. You just said they didn't have lungs.
Huh?
You just said they didn't have lungs.
Yeah, they don't have robot lungs. Which is just a big, like, glowy rock thing. They don't
No.
breathe.
Now, if you had said scuba gear, they have internal scuba gear. I would have gone with that.
Yeah,
But
they don't
that
need
still they
oxygen.
wouldn't be able to just
They,
go underwater.
the only reason why the Warforged move like that, if you like reading the lore, or if you go back and read the devs' comments on it, it's because the people were uncomfortable having a Warforged hold completely still when they're not doing things. So, like, if you stand completely still, your character will move, right? Like, you can see the character breathing, moving their arms, stuff like that.
Kinda.
Well, a Warforged, when they
I
stand
noticed
still,
some
they
of them
just
don't
stop.
move.
Yeah, they just stop. And part of that is because people get really uncomfortable with things stopping. So if you read the lore, the reason why Warforged move like that is because they're trying to make humans comfortable with their stillness by not being still. They don't feel the need to.
I didn't notice that the character stances. They just seem like they're not as mobile or not as lifelike.
Right.
I call them lifelike. As some other games.
Right. Well, and the idea, again, the idea behind that is that, and I think they changed the Warforged some to make them have some movement,
Even through your clothing into armor.
but they did it specifically because that's how the lore is written. Is that unless there's a reason to, they're just still.
I wish they would change the Iron Defenders. They don't need to growl in public places. Like, oh, I'm sorry, let me turn your volume off.
Dogs are different animals. Dogs are.
It's a mechanical.
You're programmed to be a dog, though. Come on.
Yeah,
means you're
and
gonna be an
since
a-hole.
it's mechanical, you can turn it off. Anybody that doesn't turn their dog off in public areas is rude. And that's my opinion. You can't change it. So there, nah.
Oh, I can change it. I can change anything.
You can't change my. You cannot change my opinion.
Do they have a remote? You just like boop 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 boop.
Yeah, like your garage door.
Yeah. Where do you keep that? Where do you keep that remote for your Iron Defender?
In your pockets.
No.
Yeah,
Show-
if you're a Warforged, especially if you're a Warforged artificer, you can, put it
Warforged don't
in
wear
little
pants.
maggots.
They don't have pockets. They're
You
like,
just said they did.
they're all
You just said they did.
No, they're all like ladies. There's no pockets in ladies' clothes. Come on. Come on.
All my ladies' clothes have
There
pockets.
are no
even
such
if I
things as
use them.
pockets on ladies' clothes. Don't be ridiculous.
I don't know where you buy your ladies' clothes.
At the men's warehouse where I buy all my ladies' clothes.
Then I have to agree with you.
See? Change
That's
your
not an
mind.
opinion, that's a fact.
I'll change your mind about all the things. What am I forgetting here? Now I think I
To
put
jump?
myself in the exact wrong spot. Let's try this again. Should be able to reach up there. I might have to cast jump. I thought I already had a jump active. Hi. How are you, overseer? Blah 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 blah.
A slimy leech-like creature crawl out from under RC1's body and slip away
try this
into the shadows.
I watched Newbie play for a while and I think this guy is indestructible. Then I saw him on his I took a little nap while I was watching his stream, and then when I woke up, he died on
Yeah.
his Reaper too. I
Yeah,
think he was like level 8.
he stood on top of a trap box or a trap while he was searching it out. Yeah, someone clipped it and shared it with me. It happens. It happens to us all. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
And yet he got to 20 on his favorite tune, and I mean he could have died of the trap on that tune, right?
Opening one of the
I mean, he could have died on any character at any time.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if he dies to a Reaper or to some champion that was beefed up for being on that tier, I could understand that. But this is something different. This is something that he could have faced while he was just doing favor. To me, it doesn't seem to have anything to do with what level you're playing. Because you could play stopping the Sahagins on normal and still get hit by that trap.
Yeah, I mean, if you play correctly, you don't. I mean, that's the point. The point is to eliminate as many of these play mistakes as possible. And he just made a play mistake. It happens. It happens to us all. And then you thought because you had evasion or whatever, you could get away with it. Like, I died yesterday. I think Beef clipped it. But, I was disabling the traps and the recovering the lost tome. Right? And, I had disabled the lightning trap. I heard it click, and I went, okay. And I turned around to leave, and it hit me anyway. Like, the trap that I had done disabled hit me. And I was like, what the S? Shouldn't be able to hit me after I've disabled the trap. Like,
Lag.
well, apparently that trap tends to go off one last time, I guess. I don't know. But normally I don't disable the traps when I play. I just run through those
Here's
traps.
my caregiver. I gotta let her in.
Yep, let her in. Take care of business. But normally when I play that quest, I just run through the traps because I have enough hit points and stuff. I'm not worried about it. But when playing on the hardcore server, I've been trying to play extra careful, and I just get like I don't know the ins and outs of that particular quest.
Oh, she doesn't know that the door is open. I leave my door open and unlocked for any... What the hell?
Unlock the door, let me in!
Hello?
Alright. Let's go take care of some
What
Oozes.
street is she on?
Take care of some oozes. I believe this is purple candy cane. Yep. Candy cane. Candy cane. Candy cane. Doing all the things with the candy cane. Alright, so I have found that doing it this way is the most efficient for me. Feels like more of the wheel turns are along this route. The disadvantages is that this one has to go all the way around. But that's one that has to go all the way around instead of like 3 that have to go all the way around. So by doing it counterclockwise.
You spy the master control room key.
Alright, let's load up our non-flammable or less flammable items.
A turn of the key unlocks the heavy doors. Behind them lies master control.
somehow miss with our lightning strike attack here? The growing storm? Seems unlikely. Feels unlikely.
I don't think this one's gonna get any brownie points. But that's on me. What level is your tune? Oh, 11?
Yeah, my character is 11. Why is the lever blocked?
A toneless voice echoes through the foundry.
Yeah, we're currently 11.
Self-destruct in
We're
5
getting
minutes
close
please
to
evacuate
12, but
immediately.
It doesn't seem that much work to get to 11 on Sarlona as it does on hardcore.
it's because, well, one, I've got numerous additional stats and gear to carry me. Right?
True.
Um,
Hi, you found me. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I just got a little dizzy.
like, right now, I have 430 hit points. Like, that's a lot of hit points. The hardcore server, I'd probably have, like, maybe 220.
4 minutes until self-destruct.
Come on, doggos. In the lava.
Haywire's voice.
Like right now, even without evasion and stuff, I have no qualms running through the traps.
But this is important. Keep your ears perked.
Where
instructions as you hustle out of
I would be a lot more concerned about running through these traps.
As soon as I see someone reach the exit, I'm gonna count to 20 and seal the blast doors. There ain't time to wait for stragglers. Rumblings from deep within the factory.
I suppose, Wood, thinking about it, if you made some sort of remote control for your dogs, you could have it vibrate when they would want to bark. Because the whole point of a dog is like an early warning system. I mean, that's how it works. Even if you program the dog, you want it to remember the useful characteristics of a dog. This is why they growl in public. But if you had a remote, you could have it go, instead of growl, vibrate this remote.
You feel
for
powerful
danger.
elemental energy course
For
through your hand.
danger,
Haywire,
danger.
just 2 minutes until self-destruct.
Ooh. Actually, while we're here, we should, one, buy a higher person, I guess, and two, we have 37 minutes on these buffs. We could probably go and do some Redfin's quest since we're standing right here. I guess you win, Mr. whatever your name is, level 11 cleric. You've won the get used jackpot.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
I shouldn't have to tell you that because you know by my voice I'm back.
Nay. Could be a robot.
Somebody could have stolen my headset.
That. Just recorded your voice and made a little collection. You could be disassembled and parted somewhere, and someone could just be using a wood soundboard.
Okay, when they put me back together, please give me better parts.
What? Put you back together?
Yeah, you said I was disassembled somewhere. That's
Yeah.
there's probably going to put me back together at some point.
You think?
Well, I would
that
hope.
seems unlikely. It's not like a robot. You just put it back together when you're done. Disassembled and put away somewhere. You're disassembled. Disassemble, Stephanie.
The Raveneye clan hunted game
No.
atop this platform.
No,
Well, it's sad.
it is. My mouth and my voice are so strong that I cannot disassemble that. So you will be hearing me for years.
Oh.
In your sleep.
Challenge accepted. What sleep? I gotta be
Well, that's
asleep.
see you. I guess you get an hour of me a night.
You gotta get some sleep to be asleep.
I would sing you a lullaby in your head, but that wouldn't. That would be terrible.
Oh man.
Although I used to sing lullabies to my kids. I don't know what happened to lullabies.
Braziers now show that this marks the beginning of the
I don't think
Fire
my
Giant's
grandkids ever had lullabies sung to them unless I was there singing, and their mother has a much better singing voice than I do, so I felt subconscious. Yeah, subconscious. I felt
Oh.
self-conscious.
I felt myself conscious once. It was hot.
Hey now.
Hey now. Hey now.
Oh, this week I ordered some groceries, and the person that delivered them saw that I was wearing a T-shirt from the Guild House, which is the place where you go to buy games and cards and stuff like that. And they have a back room where you can gather for pen and paper. And I turned around and she said, "Oh, you like the Guild House?" I said, "Yeah. Do you know about the Guild?" "Oh, yeah. It's really nice. I go there all the time." And I thought, I was only in there a couple of times, so maybe oh well. And I did buy the shirt. I don't know why you go to a store and buy a shirt for the store. I guess it's...
I mean, you'd be surprised. A lot of people, like we sold out of arena shirts. I'm wearing an arena shirt right now, actually. I know you can't tell, but it's got a little tombstone with the logo on the front, and then on the back it's got a big tombstone with the logo on the back. And Clankabeard actually did the artwork for us on this. But yeah, we sold out.
From your backpack.
And I would like
Whoa.
to make more,
There we
but
go. Good luck.
I'm going to have to completely change the design.
that's expensive.
Well, we have a 4-color t-shirt press now at the arena, and I would like to use the 4-color t-shirt press for that instead, because it's so much easier than the vinyl once you can kind of get everything working.
Right.
But
The thing is, I'm not talking about that. You can do that really easily, but you were saying you have to completely redesign it. You have to design it and then make the I don't know what the screens or
Correct.
whatever.
Correct.
That is what I was talking about, not the actual mixing the inks and putting together like
Right.
that. But that is expensive too.
Well,
But if you got the printer, then I mean the press, and
yeah, we already have that stuff. And the problem is that I just kind of got that process for getting the screen to work reasonably well. Excuse me. Excuse me again.
you're welcome.
I just kind of got that stuff hammered out, and they have completely filled my office and workspace with junk. They just keep putting stuff in there. I'm like, hey guys, I would work on t-shirts now that the weather's, kind of nice if I had room to work. Okay, yeah, we'll get that cleared out for you. I go in there, it's just completely filled. It's just like, alright, well, I guess not gonna work on this stuff until we get t-shirts. Or not gonna work on t-shirts until we get this area cleaned out. And I cleaned it out the last time. I'm not cleaning it out again. I didn't fill the area. I'm not gonna empty the area again to be able to work back here. But I only get paid when I do that when I make t-shirts, so I might have to clean it out anyway just so I can get paid again for making some t-shirts.
There you go.
But we gotta get the design redone. One of the things that nobody caught, and this is the reason why I have to redo the design, is and like I said, nobody thought about it, nobody mentioned it, was it has the name of the shop, but it doesn't have a city and state, it doesn't have a phone number, it doesn't have an address, it doesn't have any of that information, so it just has...
I think I would have done something like that on the back, because on the front it would be too small.
Right.
But yeah, I look at a name of something that I want to do, or how do I get there? How do I get one of those? And if it doesn't have a website or a phone number,
Right.
you gotta have some kind of information to
Let's
get
just hit that was one of the things that nobody thought about. We looked at the design probably 20 times before we finalized it and made t-shirts. And then one day the boss was like, hey Sam, come here. He's like, so if someone sees this shirt for the first time at a Magic tournament somewhere, I'm like, yeah. They're like, sweet man, great, great artwork, blah 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 blah. He's like, yeah, they say all that stuff. And he goes, where's the arena? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, you go ask him. He's like, yeah, there's no information on that. I'm like, all right. Now, granted, we haven't changed these shirts yet in like 3 years since I made these, but they get wore. Like the people who have them, they wear them constantly.
Can you just maybe add the information? You have a shirt.
I mean, I would have to again go in and change the design, but these are done with vinyl right now. It's not a design that we could replicate on the 4-color printer anyway. This is a 4 vinyl cutout design. We need something very simple, like a 1 or 2 color print for things. And I honestly have not spent enough time thinking about it to put something together. It sounds like it needs to be on the front now instead of the back. It's like all these things that I have a hard time imagining. So I need to kind of look at it and make some changes.
Yeah, I thought my Fieldhouse t-shirt was strange because the logo was on the back, but it's kind of weird somebody staring at your chest when you're walking around and they're trying to read what's on the front of your shirt, and you're like, okay, What are you doing?
That's
But,
why it's
you know,
gotta
a
be.
little-
It's gotta be
a little-
simplified.
Yeah, a little emblem on the front like you had there, but like with the information on the back, then people could just follow you around and find out what the heck's going on.
Right.
Iona whispers,
The problem is that a lot of gamers like to wear hoodies, so putting the big stuff on the back is more. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so because I prefer my stuff on the back because I am a person who does like to wear hoodies, and I want to be able to control my nerddom by putting on or taking off a hoodie. Like, yeah, you know, I have no problem wearing my arena shirt out, doing stuff, you know, having a good time. But if we go to like a nicer restaurant or whatever, and I'm gonna go to a Magic tournament afterwards, I want to be able to put on a, you know, hoodie or,
Iona whispers,
or an overshirt or something, and hide the fact that I'm wearing this massive geek T-shirt, you know, or jacket. But if it's on the front, I really don't get that option anymore.
Or you could sell a hoodie with just a small logo on the front.
We could also do that, but I don't know. Also, I think the boss ended up mostly giving away those T-shirts, which is aggravating to me. He gave them away to regulars as a thank you. Or, oh, I'm gonna go to some tournament. What if I'm on camera? Can I have a shirt? And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm like, they're not gonna get on camera, boss. And if they do, like you said, how are they gonna know to go anywhere? Yeah, I don't know. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna steal somebody else's general layout, and then I'll figure it out from there. So that being said, I'd love to see the picture from your from your LGS there, of that T-shirt at some point.
the air in this chamber
See
is
what-
dusty and stagnant.
Local
It
game
must not
store.
have been disturbed for centuries.
Oh, it's just a name on the back. It's a blue shirt and it's got yellow letters on it and just the name of the guild house. It
Oh.
doesn't say anything where it is, nothing.
Yeah, okay, so that's too plain.
It is. It's real. There's nothing there. It's. I just bought it because I think the gaming stores should get help from people that do game that need
whispers,
places like that.
Yeah.
We've done it.
And this is the only one that I found anywhere near me, which is kind of funny because I didn't used to live that close to it, but now I do. And this is the only place that I found that actually has, and I found it, believe it or not, I found it on the Critical Role website
It's pretty cool.
a few years ago. So I thought, oh, hey, that's in Long Beach, so I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, I have a... Let me actually pull it up here if I can find it real quick. I have a design that I have a screen for
Mm-hmm.
that I will probably make at least a couple of prototypes, and then I will probably I'll wear some prototypes on my own. Like you've seen me wear like the D20 shirt that I make. I make those. We sell those if people want them. Reach out to me if you're in the continental United States. But where?
What? You don't export?
It costs so much to ship to even Canada. It's crazy. Let's see, this shirt too.
Who do you send it by?
I think
mean,
the
what-
boss just sends it with USPS.
Really? And that costs a lot of money? How much?
Oh,
How much do you know?
Just to get to to go from the US to Canada, it's like immediately $30 or something like that. Because I had some people want to buy some of my t-shirts, some of the Samus Garobo t-shirts, and it is crazy. Where is? may not be able to find this. It's not in the
Oh, wait a
same
minute. I think
shirt
maybe they do
section.
have an emblem. They have a like a dice emblem, or they have a shield.
Yeah.
The shirt's in the dirty clothes because I wore it yesterday or the day before. What?
Yeah. I don't.
It is in the closet in the spare room.
Yeah, I don't see it right off the top of my head, but basically it's like an outline of Samius, and it's got like a vertical picture or of my URL and stuff like that, and it's got like my tagline on it, if I remember right.
Didn't you post that in there? Is this something different than what you posted on Discord?
I've been posting them for a long time because I've trying to pull the trigger on it, and I've got, like I said, I went ahead and I made a screen, and it's been ready to go, but I can't get to the workstation to do it. And I technically already like pre-purchased a whole bunch of T-shirts. Like I have purchased because I can get them from the boss for like $5 each. So, and I get paid in store credit for a lot of what I do. So last Christmas, I actually bought, I think, like 20 of these shirts with my store credit. And I picked out some people who are going to get some as gifts. You know, various supporters of the stream and stuff like that. And all my...
Not to change the subject more than a little bit, but the $5 T-shirts, if you're buying for them wholesale for $5, those are probably not made in the U.S. The ones that were coming in from China were very, very inexpensive, and they were driving the U.S. market to really compete with them in Canada. But the thing is that they might not be that cheap anymore.
Yeah, I think we were actually, he was buying them wholesale for $2.50 or $3, somewhere in that ballpark.
Those are Chinese T-shirts.
So I have no idea. These are just what he was getting. This is one of the ones now. I really like this one. I like the other ones that I have as well. They're fine T-shirts. I don't know where they come from.
From up here, you can
I don't know, but my point is that we have a surplus of, not a big surplus, we have a surplus of shirts. So I was going to make a whole bunch of them, but stuff's in the way. Stuff is in the way. So at some point I'll probably make those, and when a couple of weeks before I decide to do that, I will probably add some sort of tier on Patreon, because I can, by the time I get all the materials and stuff together, it's like $10 a shirt, and then like another $3 for shipping, probably. I think, I don't know. We did the math. So basically, if I sell the shirts for between I think $13 shipped in the U.S.
Yeah.
It was basically the break-even-ish point, so I'd probably sell them for like 15.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Sahagin guard the top of the zipper.
Like, I don't.
Well, damn. Send me a double X.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, once they get going, it's not a big deal. I can make, because you're only talking about spending 2 minutes.
I would be able to buy it through Patreon.
That would be my plan. Yeah, I would just set up a Patreon tier, or the one-time donation thing, and it'd be like, send me a T-shirt.
Giant magical barriers,
and then I will put together like a list of, like, I'll run it for.
That's all I wear is T-shirts.
2 months or however long we do it before I think I'm gonna make a bunch of copies, and then I would make all those.
I take very good care of my T-shirts.
I take horrific care of my T-shirts, but I wear them anyway.
I don't put them in the dryer, because that dryer lint is full of T-shirt material.
Yeah,
and the more T-shirt material in your lint trap, the more T-shirt you lose.
Yeah, the wife likes to put her clothes in the dryer, but I don't. I hang my stuff up. I prefer the way it feels, I guess, too.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like fluffy T-shirts with downy all over them from the dryer and like that. But it hurts the T-shirt too much. I've got T-shirts that are like 10, 15 years old that look just like the ones that I haven't bought in a while. I think my youngest T-shirt would be like 4 years, 3 years.
That T-shirt I just got from the little GS.
And no, I didn't just get it. That's at least okay. That one might be 2 years old.
There you go.
Might be. I don't remember the last time I went there, and because they moved the store, and I know it's been moved for like a year, so it's not under a year old. I bought it when I was DMing a game.
Yeah, I want to get some T-shirts done and get made up, and so that particular thing is already done already. I've got some Magic the Gathering shirts in the process of getting knocked out, but I have terrible time with artists. Artists are like the worst. I have the worst luck with them.
That's because they're artists.
Yeah.
Artists and coders are not like real people.
They're not good at following through with things.
Yes.
They're the worst.
Coders are good with following through with things, but they're not good at understanding what people want. Non-coder people want.
And this guy's the same. This guy is a coder and an artist.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you got somebody who's going to take 2 years to get you a thing done, and then you're going to find out that's not what I told you to do.
No, I mean, I think when he's very good at showing you progress along the way. Like, he's very good at that. It's just so, like, for example, he's had my prototype and then a very, like, in his in progress model for, like, I don't know, maybe almost a year now. And it's like every time I see him, he's like, ugh, it'll only take me like 2 hours to finish your project. I just keep putting it off. I'm like, I realize that. It would be nice if this was done so we can make these T-shirts and maybe make some money on them. He's like, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm like, no, you're not. And he's like, send me a reminder. So then I send him a reminder, and he's like, oh, I'm actually at such and such a place. That's fine. And then what's ironic is I follow him on Twitter, so then he'll start to complain about somebody on Twitter, or he'll complain on Twitter about somebody either not paying him for a project or not following through on something for him for one of his side things, and I just send him back like eyes looking upwards or whatever, and then he's like, oh, I'm the worst. It's hilarious. I can get him to like really feel bad about it easy because he's constantly complaining about people doing the same thing to him, and it's like, hey bud. Hello Carnage Reaper, how you doing?
Plus, you've got +3 somethings that were destroyed.
Yeah, 3 of my arrows. 3 of my Deneth arrows were destroyed.
How can you get those back?
I'm gonna just go buy more Deneth arrows.
Okay.
Not overly worried about it. Quinn, stop. Stop.
Their arrows are both. Now see, I use the conjure arrows in the archer thing.
The switch that controls
Arcane Archer.
Those are fine.
Maybe you can tell me the difference between our arrows and not arrows and but like arrows and both things that are projectiles. What does what? Because the conjure arrows don't seem to be doing as good as as maybe crafted arrows, but you know I haven't used that many crafted arrows or bolts or whatever. And now you've got ghost touch arrows from wherever, and I would like to, you know, how does it work? Because I don't understand archery at
The
all.
magic barriers
Sure.
I mean,
vanish.
I understand that you pull the trigger and it goes, but that's about it.
So the thing to keep in mind about how this stuff is set up in particular is when you're buying different kinds of bolts or whatever from the vendor, you're gonna have to deal with what you get. So
Right.
for example, I'm using, I think they're +3 sturdy house beneath bolts or things primarily. That's the first thing in my slot. Now,
Right.
that means they have a 75% chance to return to my backpack. They happen to be +3. They have no minimum level.
Cool.
So, but you have to have enough house D favor to be able to buy them.
That might be a problem.
Okay, so you've gotta. It's not super hard. I think it's. You have to do a bunch of the house D quests, but it's not. It's not like the end of the universe, right? Now they also have just regular sturdy arrows, which has no. They get no minimum level, but they don't have any plus on them. And then they
Right.
also sell like adamantine arrows. Okay. The reason why I can stack so many of them at a time is because I happen to have a bag with a big capacity.
Right.
So, for
How could you change arrows quickly?
I can't.
You can't. There's no way.
No. The only way you could change arrows quickly is if you did not have them in a bag, you had them in your inventory. Then you could set up the various arrow piles in your backpack,
Gotcha.
and you could swap like that. But there's no convenient. It's one of the things that people ask for. I don't want to say all the time, but a lot, enough that it aggravates Jerry if you ask him about it on stream.
Kind of like captains and their elf arrows.
So, yeah, it would be nice if there was a way that you could more quickly sort through arrows.
It's funny what they say they can do and they do and say they can't do and because I know on when they change like system designers, they have either problems or they have solutions. I know for a fact that for years, let's say on Lotro, they were they do a lot of cosmetics on Lotro. They have a lot of different things for cosmetics, and you know you can change your outfit on the fly. The thing is that they kept telling us that we couldn't get cosmetic shields. We couldn't have cosmetic weapons, and then we got cosmetic weapons and wanted shields, and they said no, you can't. We can't do that. The code won't allow it. And then that was like for a long time. Years later, there's a new system designer, and now we have cosmetic shields.
Yeah, somebody who, if they want to prioritize something, you can pretty much find a way, right? But if there's a block, like it's really easy to get a block when you're programming. Like, oh man, there's no way to do that without it. And often that shortcut when someone says, oh, there's no way to do that, it doesn't mean that there's no way to do it.
Well, I understand that.
It doesn't mean that it's impossible.
During the
It just means that they
text games era, you know, when they didn't have MMOs, they just have MUDs because there were like 20 people on a game. I was talking to one of the coders, and I asked how difficult something would be, and he said, well, it would take a lot of time and blah blah blah. I said, we're not going to do that. I said, well, it's not impossible. A coder's way of thinking is that he can change anything with code given enough time. He can change the sun to rise in the west.
Right. And that's...
And I said, okay. So I know how that's why I say they're not like normal people. They don't think like we do, because they break stuff down into little blocks, and we don't do that. Everything flows as a way of working. That's one thing. But like you said, I think also on Lotro, and I believe it probably works the same way on DDO. During the cycle, the production cycle, there is a spot where builders get to pick, they have a pet project, so they'll just work on that one project. It's kind of like downtime.
Right.
I don't understand it, but there are certain things that both games do that is a passion of one particular person.
Right.
And
well,
if
that's
you don't
like
have
our
somebody...
cosmetic cloaks. We got cosmetic cloaks because one of the new artist hires that they picked up was like, no, I can make cosmetic cloaks. Like, that's just how... And that's true for all programming. So for those of you who don't know, I was a programmer for 7 years. I did it all the time. I enjoyed doing it. It felt really good. If it wasn't for... I think I'm gonna put the blame firmly on my migraines. If it wasn't for my migraines and the various damages that trying to treat it did, and how much it affected my personality before being treated, like, you guys have seen me have like a rough day. On a rough day, I'm pretty harsh. I'm pretty snappy. And this is me trying to be entertaining and fun. Can you imagine me being your guy who's solving your problems? Like, hey, the XYZ is broken, and then Samus in pain because Samus... My average day 3 years ago was probably a 6. On a scale of 1 to 10. Like, that was my average. I'd wake up, it was a 6. I'd go to sleep, it was a 6. I didn't have less than that. It just didn't.
I never... They ask me my pain level always when I go to the VA, and sometimes it's not bad, but I can never get the right number. And then I finally said, well, okay, let me tell you that I think a 10 is, I forget what I thought. Oh, kidney stones. And then I realized what a 10 really was for me, and that was shingles. Yeah. That had me. It would. There were short attacks, but if you got something that completely paralyzes you and makes you scream into a pillow for 2 or 3 minutes, and granted, that's not all the time.
Right.
But when it hits, it was. That's a 10 for me, and I think that's what somebody needs to know. Then, what's a 10 for you, and then tell me where you are right now.
I said I'm probably like a 3, maybe a mild 4. A 10 for me. So like I had probably an 8 earlier this week, maybe a 9. And that was where, I mean, you guys can watch the stream. I basically had every light off except for the computer monitors, and even then I thought about wearing sunglasses. Like, having my eyes physically open was painful because having any light shine into my brain is a problem. The thing is that when I have a bad migraine, I can close my eyes and it will I'll have flashes of light so bad that it'll still make me want to cry. 10s for me are, like you said, you're unable to move. It's usually where I will sit. I'll find a spot where I can sit that I can exist, and then I'll just sit there, and I can't do anything else. All I want to do is cry my little head. Usually, I will end up crying.
Yeah.
I can't move. I can't speak. I want everyone to go away because I can't exist. I'm off. Like, I have off positions with the pain now. Like, if I get to a 7, I'm off. But it's worse. It's like an off that you can't do anything, is you're like just trapped in a world of pain and violence. Like, you just can't get out of it for me. And again, to remind people, I have been shot, I've been burned, I have been ran over by a car, I've had arms broken for days without treatment. My arm was actually re-healing from a compound break when I was probably 12, maybe 11 or 12. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I had some sort of punishment from my stepmother, and she ended up breaking my arm, and she did not want to admit that my arm was like that. But and I was babying it really badly, and she would get mad at me for doing that and kind of knocked me around a little bit. But my dad, he worked nights, so he slept all day. And one day I was in bed asleep during this break, and apparently I was crying in my sleep because I had a broken arm. You know, he happened to be off that evening or whatever, and he's like, "Take him to the doctor." She's like, "There's nothing wrong with him. He's fine." And I remember her just like being such a shit to me, because it was an inconvenience out of her day that she had to take me to the doctor. And then I had that compound fracture, that compound break, and I remember her eating so much crap to my dad, not to me, you know, but I remember her just like, "Oh, well, I don't know what's wrong with him, like, blah, 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 blah." It's like, you broke his arm. Like,
God.
you
No.
but,
Hello, Legion.
like I said, so I've dealt with a lot of stuff over the years. Anyway, hello, Legion. We're doing good. We're just talking about shenanigans. I was probably a 10. I was at the end a couple of months ago, and I can tell it's really bad when the wife is like, "Can I just take you to the emergency room?" I'm like, "Why? They're not going to do anything. Just leave me alone." I turned off all the lights. I even turned off the second monitor. I put on a dark movie on my thing, and I got comfortable in my chair, and I put like all my ice packs on, and she would come in and check on me, and I would just be crying, you know.
And you didn't know it?
Oh, I mean, most of the time I know it. I usually don't. It's not a matter of feeling sadness. It's a matter of the fact that my body hurts so much it doesn't know what to do. You know, because when the migraine's that bad, you don't feel anything else. Your entire body is, in my case, I say electric fire. There's just it's like sticking your tongue on a 9-volt battery, but it's like so bad your body's on fire, and it's from the top of my head, my whole body. I can't move. I barely can talk. I just am tired of existing, and it's really rough. For me, like a 3, it's like being cut open with a knife. You know, it's usually like stabbing, searing, pressure. It's a lot of pressure. I try to explain to people. They're like, what's it like? I'm like, imagine you had 1,000 rubber bands on your arm, right? Like, oh, you would go numb and you wouldn't feel it anymore. Except you can't go numb. Like, it's just that constant pain. You wiggle around, you have a rubber band cutting into your arm. It's just, that's what it's like for me. Except you also are on fire. Also, you can tell where my pain level is based off of how hot I am physically to the touch. The more it hurts, the hotter I get.
I think that's why I have fans going all the time.
Yeah, probably. Wow.
I warm my coffee
Do
up.
we want to take level 12 here? I don't think so, right? Because we want to milk Shadow Crypt for as much as we can, probably. I would do Into the Deep, but I hate this other quest, so I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I think we have, if we're going to do anything, we have to do Shadow Crypt.
I haven't seen Shu on except for Wednesdays anymore. Is he busy or is he not feeling well?
I know
or
this week
it's none of my business.
sometime last week his ex dropped the kids off and said she was going to the emergency room and she'd probably be there for a while. And as far as I understand, he's just got the kids full time. And now they're off
That's
to
why they're
school.
little.
Yeah.
She was on the Wednesday stream.
Right, his daughter.
Yeah, her 7-year-old.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the dealio is. I'm gonna get Fumblebot here to open up the Shadow Crypt.
I find that when I play the game, I can only do it for about a half an hour, and then I have to lay down or rest my wrist or some dumb thing. I remember only, well, maybe 10 years ago when I'd be playing, I could do 18 hours straight. Just no reason.
Well, that's probably the reason why you can't do it anymore.
I disagree. I
But,
disagree.
I don't know, the right arm brace probably would help. I mean, if it's literally just carpal tunnel that's messing you up, there's probably not
I
that
don't
much
think
you
it's
can do.
just carpal tunnel. I think it's partially because I'm old, arthritis, partially carpal tunnel, partially it's because it's my right hand, partially the stroke I had a year ago in July, and partially because I'm developing neuropathy in my hands now.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me, and it's not, and I wanted to play, I would start by getting good wrist brace.
I have one.
And then I would take some Tylenol or whatever before I started to play.
I don't take Tylenol anymore because I'm afraid of it.
Right. Well, whatever
When I started at the VA, the nurse said, "No, you can't take this much Tylenol as you're taking. You'll destroy your kidneys."
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Tylenol will damage that. Or
Yeah.
whatever your over-the-counter pain relief thing is. But the real difficulty is you have for your arthritis is you have to keep them going. So you probably almost need some sort of activity that you can exercise your hands more than just that. All right, real fast, I want to share with you guys DDO Puzzles app by my friend Grimoid, friend in Guildy. I use this reference a lot. You have a lot of good things, as you can tell. Just Crucible Maze, Demon Queen Solver, theoretically an Enter the Kobold Solver. litany questions, but the one we're going to do today is the Shadow Crypt run through. We could do 8 or we could do 12. Probably just do 8 right now. And basically it works really simply. All you do is you walk into this first room going east. You step in here. Boop.
That's west.
Never eat
that's
soggy
east.
waffles. And then you basically just push in here what color it is. This room is red. So you hit set, and then you have this lovely little guide. So southwest, east, 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 west, east, blah, 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 blah. The nice thing about this for me is that I can click over here when I'm like, alright, now we're going to go south to red underwater. Then I can click it, I can run south underwater, and then I know where I am. So anyway, it's DDO Puzzles. It is free. You can get it on a lot of the different app stores. I don't think it's the Amazon App Store though.
One of the gargoyles above you.
Or sorry, not Amazon. I don't think you can get it on the Apple Store, but I think you can get
On
it.
no iOS.
Yeah.
Or IO.
I don't think you can get it there. You might be able to get it there, but I don't think so. I believe that you have to go through. I did not summon a hireling because I had the other person in my party.
Oops.
But anyway, yeah, I think you can get it through the Windows Store, and I'm pretty sure you can get it on Android. So yeah, check those out if you are looking for such an assistant here.
If you survive this fight, would you put like the name of it in the
Sure.
in chat or
Sure.
in Discord? That'd be better because chat goes away on Twitch.
I don't remember if it's DDO Puzzles or DDO Puzzles. And then I will just message you really quick.
Okay, that's good.
There you go. So you can find it. Alright, so I'm going to actually go ahead and D-door out of here as well, I think. And summon
You
my,
are?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And summon my hireling.
Your game hireling, in game,
Yes.
not your store hireling.
I mean, I could have probably gotten away with using her as well, but in the event that something weird happens, like a weird death or whatever, I need to get the other guy up and running. Alright, so I'm going to start by going east. And then we're going to
That's
go
a thing that I have a problem with on hardcore. If you buy something from the store, when you die, that's
An
gone.
underwater maze within a maze. Nareza
yeah.
has an affinity for tricks and games.
Let's see, because I was thinking about buying. I don't know what I was thinking about buying. Oh, when I bought those essences, the Kenneth essences. I thought, well, now you can't go out and die because those will be gone. So will all the experience that you did, and you have to do that all over too.
Well, that's the reason why I haven't
Shadow
crafted.
God's voice hisses
Alright, now we're going to go
dark.
west. I haven't been crafting because
Many to go.
like what character is going to take and do all the crafting. It's never going to be able to leave. I won't be able to, I mean, I can, but I'd have to do everything on significantly lower level just to
Right.
100% guarantee.
Pyramids rise and fall to meet each other.
That character's not gonna die.
Right. Okay. I'd want to do everything on hard.
That's why I made the cleric, because I wanted to like try and play and not just craft.
Right.
And I also wanted to collect things that I could deconstruct, because I really can't do that on the other tune, the crafter tune, and that's a
East.
little annoying.
Right. Well, then that was part of why again, like I said, I have not built a crafter over there. It was because those exact questions, and I did not have good answers for them, so I just haven't crafted. I've been collecting things, but as you know, but not everybody knows, I've been sending you things, and at some point I'll probably send you like a bunch of other stuff as well, like when you're ready, like Kenneth crafted bits or whatever.
Yeah.
Because again, it doesn't mean zero good. And if I want access to a crafter on that server, the best way for me is going to be helping you get up there, so I could tap.
I don't have a problem with that. Crafting is not dangerous, and I can make a little money tearing things down. I didn't realize that you got paid for doing that.
Yeah, you actually. I'm pretty sure you don't get your haggle difference in there, but I do believe you get otherwise full value. So whatever you would get minus your haggle, or if your haggle was 0, I believe you get that.
No, my crafting alts all have. That's one of the things that I build up. I try to make it so that that's what do you call it? What they're supposed to be proficient in. Like I think a rogue has haggle that you get 1 full point on, that you don't have to,
Right, but what I'm saying is I don't think you get more gold when you deconstruct if you have a higher haggle. I think that's set at 0 or whatever the value is. I don't think your higher haggle gives you more stuff when you deconstruct. I could be wrong. You would have to go try to sell it someplace, and then
see, there's a problem right there that I can't tell, but it seems like all of my crafting bonuses from skills and from race class, they're not affected. It's like I don't have anything.
Yeah, you were saying that. I have not looked at it myself, so I do not know the answers.
I don't think anybody is really, doing this. I've seen a couple people in crafting, but, maybe that's just to get a couple extra coin.
I know that Shu's doing a little bit of crafting. I just don't know how much. So I don't think he's focusing on it yet. I think it's like gathering materials type thing scenario. Now I'm pretty sure he's building a crafting character over there. So I don't know.
Well, okay,
about it.
for experience, you do get a little experience when you break something down, and I thought that you would get more experience for actually making things, which I haven't. I made a couple of shards, but I haven't really put them on anything. The problem I'm seeing is, breaking down and making things are basically the same thing, and I'm only getting 1 point of experience per item.
So,
and I realize it's low level, but I thought that with the bonuses to crafting from the making feat should be higher than that.
So my understanding on how crafting works, like if you're going for experience, the XP. So your level allows you to craft higher things with less chance of failure, right? But once all those levels get applied in there equally, and your XP for something that you have a high chance of creating is much less than if you take like a 50-50 and then make it. All right, let's see. We're going east to Red Pyramid, which is actually behind us. So like if you're
that's why when I'm starting out, that I do the minimum level ones, because I don't have the materials to do anything else. I start out with the minimum level ones, and then when I get that to 100%, I go to number 2. And I'm not getting as much experience from doing that, but it does give me more than, like you said, because that's a 0. The minimum level 1 would be at 0. And maybe I like to do it when it's in the yellow, because you have more chance of making an item and getting experience, and you have more experience.
I said I do not know the ins and outs. My crafting is basically limited to I just do whatever I kind of want.
Right.
And then I'll get wherever I get when I get there.
A long hallway.
You know,
Yeah,
and
but
I craft
when you're
kind
just
of-
starting out, you know, you have there's very little things that you can make.
right, which is why when I was talking
I can
about it,
make
I'm
you
like,
some.
I don't.
I can make you some featherfall boots.
Yeah, thanks.
With the gear in place, the lever.
So yeah,
You'll never get
I,
out of Gorthos.
I don't know what, and that's the other part of it. Like, I don't know what I would craft right now on the Horker server that I would be like, oh yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I'm looking for. You know, because for me, the things that matter are like the stats. What did you not pull? You did not pull this blue one. I didn't think you did. So like the stats right now would be important. But I think making excuse me. I think making unbound stats would be difficult.
Yeah, I'm not anywhere near Unbound. Anything.
Right. So like getting
Yeah,
getting to
need
the
at-
point
you
where
need at least 3 or 4 people are feeding you stuff that you can break down and you know, like that. It you know, I could sit there and do that and even probably buy the materials needed to break stuff down or even to get that high, but it's going to take a long time. I thought that it wouldn't take as long as it's taking. That's all. And there's always if you just go into I know the Kenneth crafting, the one in House K. If you go into that crafting room, there's a banner that comes up, and it was like, okay, this is in beta. Why is this in beta?
well,
This shouldn't be in beta.
It's never not going to be in beta, probably.
On hardcore, because I don't get
Not-
that message when I.
Yeah, well, it'll never be changed on hardcore, but I still think they consider the live crafting is still in beta as well. I think. I don't think they consider it a finished system. They're not going to work on it, I don't think, anymore, really, but I don't think they think of it as a finished system.
Yeah.
Alright, $1 million question. Do we have enough DPS to get this guy killed? I actually didn't a couple of lives ago, and I had to leave. I think this life will be different. I think we have enough dips that we can probably pound through.
I'm not picking up my TV remote. My brain is gone. Excuse me while I read this memo that I got at my door.
Yeah, nice. Alright. Well, I'm gonna wait for Wood to come back, but
No, I'm here. I'm
okay, I
I'm
think
watching and
uh,
I'm reading mostly, but go ahead and talk to me.
I was gonna say, I think we're gonna be wrapping up pretty soon here. I know it's a little early, but I'd like to get a nap before I have to go and be awake and aware and intelligent until 1 o'clock in the morning for work. So I'm gonna wrap up a little early.
Good
Get some
idea.
extra Z's. But
Got any
I don't
plans
know
for
what
this weekend?
there's a possibility what we might need to do for the hardcore server and even if you don't come group with us, you may just have to log on anyway at certain points, and then just everyone just come and dump all of the
Stuff.
yeah, just come dump stuff on you, and then you'll have to, later, kind of get an idea of how much gold or whatever plat you made and give people like a percentage back
Okay.
from the deconstruction.
Somebody else is gonna have to do the math, though.
No, I mean, you don't have to be exact. You just have to have like a ballpark. Like,
Okay.
This was 250, so 200, this was 150, so another 100. This way you can still get plenty of stuff coming in. Or, you know, just have it sit there and then that funnels into like the airship fund. You know what I mean?
Sure.
This way you can get the mats, but then it still goes back to the guild or whatever. But if you were on, I would have no big deal. Like, it would not bother me to run to House Cannith, dump all this stuff in your lap, and then leave. As opposed to, like, those days where I'm mailing you, like, 12 items. It's like, alright, let's pull up her name. Let's drag it, you know what I mean? Copy the name, send it off, etc.
Correct.
You know, it's like, alright, well, not only am I losing money by not deconstructing this myself or selling it myself, now I'm also losing money mailing it to you. It's like, I'll do that sometimes on things that I think will break down for a lot. But if I don't think they're going to break down for very much, I just sell them.
That's what I miss about having a ship.
Right, just
There's
having
no
the guild chest
community
in there.
chest.
Yeah, I don't even
Like,
know what level.
If you're on and I'm taking a nap, because I just pass out sometimes.
Sure.
There's no way to. I look at the mail system and I cringe because on DDO you can put like 2 letters of the first name of somebody that's in your kin or guild, and the names will pop up.
Right.
So you don't have to spell somebody's long ass complicated name. But the other thing is you can mail like 8 things at a time.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah, and I don't see what the difficulty is in moving that stuff over here. But then again, you know, I don't know how this code is. And I would hate to have them sever some piece of the spaghetti that's in the code just to have convenient mail for somebody.
So it looks like level 25 for the regular chest, and then 20 for the gold seal chest.
Which is the gold seal for officers?
Well, the gold seal is that someone has to buy it with turbine points.
Oh, okay. But it doesn't go away.
Well, it'll go away after whatever a month or whatever it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let me see. Let me actually look at the store real quick. If they'll even show it to me. They might not show it to me.
Because you have one already?
Yeah. Guilds and hirelings.
Yeah, I
See,
do
like,
that.
I'm
Do
not
like
sure
that
why
about the
it's even
store.
hidden, to be honest.
You can't type guild chest in there?
I might be able to search for it. Hang on. I feel like their store is not very good.
Neither one of them are. You would think when you, like, I'll go in and I'll search for what class I want if I want a hireling, like a cleric, favored soul, usually a rogue because they're hard to get. And the rogues aren't listed by level, which would be, you'd think, well, we'll sort by level, or we're sort alphabetically by name, which is kind of dumb because I don't know the name of all the clerics that I, or whatever I want. But there's no sort on it, it doesn't seem. It's not even by value.
Oh, hang on. Maybe that's why. I'm doing this in the wrong order. Alright, seal, small, guild, chest. See if I put exactly the name in there. See, if I put exactly the name in there, it doesn't come up. Put in small chest, small guild chest. Small guild comes up with all the augments. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to let me look for it, even if it's even here. And that's the other question. Like, I'm not even sure how much of these things are actually... Let's see. Oh, maybe I could buy them over here. So maybe you have to buy them with astral shards now. Which is kind of poopy, but...
Gold seal, small guild chest.
Yeah, it looks like it would be...
The astral.
Well, it looks like to do it... Oh, wait, maybe this one. Yeah, so it's 30 days. Max duration 90 days. And it's 30 shards. Maybe you can't get them through the turbine points anymore unless you turn turbine or DDO points into shards and then shards into that. But I was just thinking if we did get a boat, it's possible that we could do that. Here, let me log out of this. Let me jump over to the other server for a quick moment. I know that
Doesn't the boat come with anything? I mean, the
comes with the
porter guy, the captain on the top.
yeah. I think that's it.
Good. Well, how would you buy that thing if you didn't have the vendor?
I mean, I'm
You
sure
have to
it
buy the
comes
vendor
with,
then to get all the.
I'm sure it comes with a vendor, but like it doesn't come with anything. Like you can't. You have this stuff that interacts with the boat.
Right.
So like one of the things I probably should do, and I started working on it earlier, and last night a little bit while I was screwing around, is let me grab Samius. So I believe Samius is still currently a guild leader. So one of the things that Forehand is constant, I don't want to say pestering, but bringing up and asking about consistently is buying just like any boat, any guild ships. Let me see what the options
What guild
are
level
here.
are we?
We are level 16, so we're not that far away actually, and I think we can actually get we can get the little airship.
Do we get anything if we turn it in for a bigger ship?
I think if you get the little ship, you can. There's an upgrade procedure, but I don't remember how it works.
Okay. So how much is a little ship?
Alright, so the littlest ship is 50,000 plat, which I'm actually not that far away from.
Really?
I got 7.5 on Samius. I have, I think like another 20, maybe 25.
You can buy a guild ship that's bigger than your guild level if you pay actual money for it.
Correct. Correct.
That's awful.
Let's see, what do I have in the... Yeah, I have 27. So I have like 34. I know Forehand was like, well, what if we all just kick in 10,000 plat? I'm like, that's fine. If someone really wants to do, like, if people want to give me 10,000 plat, we can get an airship. Like, it doesn't matter.
I think I have 1,000 plat.
Yeah. Well, and I
I'm not
just
doing
need to
anything.
go. I just need to do some more platforming. I just haven't taken the time to do it. So yeah, we can get the Stormbolt Glory for 1,000 shards.
God,
Level
how much is that gonna cost?
1,000 shards. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. If one person was to sit there and buy 1,000 shards worth of stuff.
Rosie has perished at level 6.
I don't even know where you'd get shards now. I just searched shards and it didn't come up. So
Astral currency.
apparently +7 tomes are in the thing.
It would cost me a lot to be able to use a +7 tome. It's +7, right? It's not an upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the other one's in there too. I was just looking for something I could spell. Where does the... There they are. Alright, so 1,000 astral shards is 53.95 points. So you're talking $54.
$50? Oh no. I think I
55.
looked that up. It was more like 100.
No, 53 is, they're around a penny a point.
Well, that's what I thought.
So like, you would get, the closest bundle you could get right now is, and apparently they're double points, is 8,850, and that would be $59.99. The next smallest one that would still put us a little bit shy would be $35
For astral shards.
for astral shards. So I suppose if people really wanted the astral shard boat, and that has a guild level of 7. So like if people wanted to chip in real dollars, I could probably take Twitch donations or whatever, or PayPal or one-time Patreon things, and then I could
Cool.
then I could turn those into points, and then I could point us a bigger boat if people wanted. But I just don't know how much it actually matters for another
For 3 months?
Yeah.
2.5 months?
Yeah, where this little boat would probably get everything. Well, I don't know. It'd get us a most of what we really need, which is like a vendor and a place to dump loot off to the crafter. And looks like someone has donated 10 platinum into the thing. But see, it if you have a ship, you can upgrade. And I don't know what the price difference is, but it's not that bad. And like I said, 50,000 plat. I just need to take some time and go run like Three Rail Cove, or because I'm running that anyway for the rune arms and whatnot. I just need to take time to do it. But right now I am exhausted, so I'm actually
So I could go in and put my 1 plat on the ship?
Yep, you could do whatever you wanted to do. Like I said, you just go into that little room if you're part of the guild, and there's like a deposit
I think it's
button.
better to put it in that deposit there than it is for me to die with it on my character.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. That's fair. So you could also drop it off at the. You just deposit exactly like everything else.
I think that was me.
What was
I didn't
it?
think I had 10 plat.
Oh.
Or maybe I put 2 plat in or 5 plat in
I
or
half
something like
expected it was
that.
probably forehand. But anyway, yeah, something. I don't know when I'll be back next for sure. Like I said, it is the weekend. I will definitely be around Monday, for sure. And the rest of the week like normal. But I don't know if I'll have time to come back tomorrow and play. I've been playing on Saturdays. I've been kind of making extra time instead of working on the boat and stuff. But we got some... I've got some new tools in for the bus. Like I got a new saw in. We've got the paint. So like if the weather's not too bad, I'm gonna give a shot to actually working on the bus this weekend. I got the new webcam. If that all works the way I think it's gonna work, I haven't started playing with it yet. I'll try to fiddle with it tonight maybe. But if everything kind of works the way I think it's gonna work, that'll probably get live streamed under just chatting, although I won't be paying super close attention because I'll be busy working on the bus. But it'll be there, and I'll probably make some sort of like screen that says, hey, you know, I'm actively working on the bus, this is my goal, project, whatever. And it'll be like some sort of slight overlay. or something. So anyway, as always, hit the like, subscribe, follow buttons if you'd like to know what's going on. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to pull up who else is playing DDO at the moment. Not a lot of people. Rain is playing, get some love. Rose Loveless, which I do not know, is playing. So we'll probably throw it to Rain here in just a little bit. She's been working really hard on the hardcore server. Looks like she is working on another favor character. Speaking of favor, how is Samus doing on favors over here? Samus is at 479, and look at his adventure quest here. Yeah, I got to do 4s. I could probably go finish Whisper Doom pretty quickly. Rest for the Restless. Yeah, I might do some 4s later. I was kind of waiting for Beef, but then Beef got murdered. So he's re-going, and I'm going to try to catch him. I think we just took 7. The problem is I got to do the traps. So I'm going to also look at using my Heart of Wood. I have a little baby Heart of Wood. And look to see if I can't redo my enhancements to work the traps in. It's going to cost me some stuff, but I think I can make it happen. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Let me snag Rain's name here and set her up to go. Again,
Bye-bye.
like, subscribe, follow. I'd appreciate it. And don't be afraid to be a stranger. Use the chat box. I'm always here to answer your questions. And if I get time, I'll even record the new segments for DDO Cast this weekend while I was streaming. So look forward to that. If not this DDO Cast, hopefully the next one. Alright everyone, peace, much love, and we'll see you guys in a few hours.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.